Always gotta mess with my camera. Alrighty. Hello, hello, hello. Hey, Christina. I'm late.
Hello, hello, hello.
Oops.
Hey, Christina.
Oh, come on, Tim. There. Hey, Shirley. Hold on, I'm getting to you all. I'm not totally set up yet. Give me a minute. YouTube, I tell you, my computers are so freaking slow. I guess I should be set up before I actually go live, huh? Let me get in here so I can see what you're texting. Well, how have you?
Freaking slow.
Oops. I guess I should be set up before I actually. Oh my word. Can you guys hear me okay? Sorry if I echoed in your ear. So what it is I come on StreamYard in one stream, and I have to make sure when I open my other screen on, because I come in on Chrome, and I have Firefox open to read the chat, so I have to make sure that's muted. And then the app on my phone, I have to make sure is muted, because if not, you have all these echoes. It's like multitasking. The only thing I can't figure out, I don't know if you all know Test It with Ty. She's one of the girls. Ty said what Ty said. She changed her channel name. It used to be Test It with Ty. Now it's Ty Said What Ty Said. So I mod for her, and she had this thing where you come up and join her panel. So when I joined it, I had no clue what to mute on the phone. So you could hear echoing so bad. It was terrible. It sounded like one of those microphones that goes all wonky and blows your eardrums off. So what I had to do was I was playing with buttons and knocked myself out of the live panel, and I muted my phone, and then I came back and the echo was gone. Well, you know how you can push the little circle and toggle between screens? Well, I went to do that to do something else, and it knocked me out again. It was hysterical. If you watch the playback, it is so comical. And my husband was rolling, so we were laughing so hard at me knocking myself out of her chat. And Ty's rolling her eyes like, what is she doing? So then the third time I came back, I knocked myself out of her stream like 3 times, because the third time I came back, the echo was back, and I couldn't figure out if the phone was muted and I didn't change the settings, then why did I come back with the echo again? And it hurts people's ears, so you don't want to talk, you know what I mean? I'll never do a live again on someone's panel through my phone. I should have just went and logged in my computer and been done with it. Because on my computer, I know what to do. My phone, I don't. We laughed so hard. It was hysterical. She's going, I don't know who this white woman is. It's just so funny. Her comments are comical. Oh my gosh. She had me rolling. So anyways, if you guys want to watch the video, it was hysterical. The topic was really good. Hold on and I'll get you the channel link. So if you want to get a good laugh at me, this is where to go. Oh, because it was funny. I'll put it in the stream. She had a good topic because she was talking about submitting in relationships, how women feel about it. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, here it is. Let me get her link to this particular one. Oh my goodness, it was so funny. The things we do on here are just hysterical. I need to put her up here as one of my favorite personalities too, but I haven't got a chance to do it yet. This is Ty's channel. She's fun. She has a Sunday fun day, because these are the reasons why I like it when I do the personality appreciations. Or I want to do her channel eventually. I'm making a list as I go along. But she talks about subjects people don't want to talk about. Sometimes it can be really hard to monitor stream because people get to arguing, but it happens because she wants a place where people can discuss anything, racial issues, anything you want to talk about. That, you know, the news kind of destroys and makes people fight and stuff like that. She wants a calm place where people can talk, and sometimes it's not always calm, but for the most part, it has been. And she has a Sunday fun day where you come in, and if you donate to her stream, she has a join channel and stuff. Any money that goes into her account, they play games with it. And it's really cool because her Sunday fun day is, she'll say like, go watch this video on YouTube. And, you know, so many seconds in, you see like a color of a woman's skirt. What is it? Or a sign in the background, or what the clock says. And if you guess all the questions, you can win the pot for the week. And at the end of her stream, if you stay around, she has gift cards that she gives away just for people who participated. She'll give away $10 gift cards to the Dollar Tree, to Subway, just random places. And you get to pick which one you want if you win. I won her Sunday Fun Day cup. She has these Sunday Fun Day mugs she was passing on. I have one. I love it. And then I won a gift card, but I shared it with the other mod because she's there more than me. She does more than I do because it's really hard for me to get her on the weekends. So I passed it to someone else. But she's just fun. Ty is a lot of fun, and she gets a lot of people that come and talk. And this particular topic was really good because the submission we're talking about is not like 50 Shades submission. We're talking like in a partnership. When you know, two people join as one, if you submit to your husband, like your feelings about it. And it was just really good topic to discuss because some people interpret that the wrong way. And but we had a good discussion. There was a girl that come on her panel, the first person, and she gave a lot of insight for as young as she is and stuff. She gave a lot of good opinions. But anyways, so my YouTube personality this week is SH. And if you look into the description, it's a channel that we have been following each other since the beginning. And this is Sunbury Housewives. I don't get to see MJ and Shell as much as I would like to, but I do try to catch them in their car chronicles. These two ladies are such a riot. MJ is hysterical. She's kind of got that personality of what's her Roseanne Barr when she did the family shit. Like her voice and her face features will stay so bland. Like she's not, but she makes you laugh. She's got a really good sense of humor. And Shell is very creative. She to me is the brains behind a lot of it because she does a lot of the technology. She does crafts in the channel, and they're together. They're best friends that do their channel together. So that, and I love watching because I just think they're comical. And I've been, you know, on their channel since 2017. So they're like one of the first people. And I'm trying to get the older people I'm subscribed to first and then go into the new, except a few of them have been newer, like Farmall Fanatic and Think Dragon. They're all like kind of newish. But like I've been following Tosh Time since 2017. I've been following Sunbury Housewives. I followed Ty. She's newer to me than the other two. And but my longest has been them and D1 that comes in here. So it's nice when you see people who, even if they can't be at your stream all the time, they're definitely dedicated people that stick by you and follow you through stuff. And the Sunbury Housewives is just really cool. And if you ever get the chance to check them out, I never tell people you have to subscribe to anybody. I always say check them out. If you like them, stick around because some of these people can be a lot of fun. I'll get their channel link in here. And I love the pictures that they instill that's cartoonish of them. Like when you see them open up, their cartoon pictures are so stinking cute. I love it. So here is MJ and Shell. But they're just hysterical to watch. The Car Chronicles crack me up. But I like everything they do though. They're really funny. Okay. So with that being said, I want to work in my glue book because I like my glue book. I don't want to be on here too long tonight. I've been busy trying to get orders out, and I had people with requests, and I had to craft some more stuff. So I've been busy. That's why I was late tonight, because I was trying to finish everything I had to do. Or we could just sit and chit chat. I tried to do a crafty with me channel so that people, you know, they want to craft along. If they don't, they don't. But I love this. I'm having a lot of fun with my little glue pages. I have no idea what I'm going to create tonight because I didn't even think it through. Sometimes it's just spur of the moment. I am happy that I got this. I was so excited. Oh, I got to show this to you, Christine. Yep. This was so stinking cute. My one granddaughter is a left-hander like me, and she loves horses. So I bid on this lot on eBay, and it had horses in it. Look at this cute note this eBay seller sent me. I had to share it. This is so stinking cute. Like, what eBay seller does this? I feel so spoiled by people with the horses lately. The eBay seller actually drew me a face of a horse with a thank you and said, enjoy. Is that like not the cutest thing? Some of these sellers can be really, really awesome when they do stuff. So this today, I think what I'm going to do is just do a glue page for this person. I know I did a horse page here not too long ago, but I just think this is the cutest. I don't know if I should. Well, yeah, I better put it in this book. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to make a page with what this woman did. I think we'll put it on this side. I love it. Thanks, Cheryl. I thought this was cute too. I'm going to put eBay seller at the top. Glue books are really supposed to be like cut out words, but I'm going to put this anyways because I just thought this was awesome. So in the book lot, the reason why I loved it so much, look what came with it. So of course, Nana's going to share this with her later, but right now she's not at the stamping age yet. So for the meantime, this is going to be my little fun. And I was so excited. This is a stamp set. Is that like not the cutest? I was like, yes, 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 yes. Now, mind you, I'm not going to use certain ones because I love watching equestrians, and it's not like I don't know how to explain it. It's not that it bothers me that a horse in the bridle has a bridle or halter on. I just prefer free horses. I love them free. I don't care if they're wild horses running around a barn in a fenced yard. I just like them with nothing on. Like my horse, I used to take his halter off every night. I just like that freedom of seeing him free. You know, if I knew I was going to ride him, I would leave the halter on, but I don't know. There's just something about it. Even the collar of my dog. Me and my husband must see the same eye to eye. Because every night when he comes in, my dog acts weird without her collar on, but we always take it off. You know what I mean? She likes it on, but I don't know. Something about free animals. Oh, that sounds awesome. So I'm going to do this here because I just think this is cute. I love it. I was like, to take the time out, and I guess the seller, it must have been their books, because they said when they sent the note, it could have even been a youngster and their parents were helping them. I don't know, but they said that they really enjoyed the books and they're glad they're going to a good place, because they will be going to my granddaughter's house. She loves horses. I got them a great big stuffed horse one year for Christmas, and it's really cute because they take turns with it. My 3 granddaughters, it's so big. It's bigger than my dog. My daughter's like, Mom, it's going to take up half their beds, but it's funny because they use it as a pillow. So the youngest has it in her bed, and she passes it to the other girl, and because I've got 2 twin granddaughters, and then I have one. She's just a little one yet. She's just now like forming sentences in her speech, and they're so cute. Yeah, my cats never had collars either. You know, these people who teach their pets to walk them, they'd have to do that as a young kitten, because my cats would have hung themselves. There's no way. There is no way I'd have been able to walk my cats. Not happening. And you're going to, no, I was going to say, I better not have left this upstairs. I did it. It's right here. I was like, please tell me I've got one of my ink pads down here, because I want to try these out. I'm excited. This is what I do. When I'm done distressing, I use this piece of paper as a cleaner. Yes, I think, Christine, your sale is going to be my last one for a little while. I got to start saving up some money for some stuff. So I'm going to have to take a break. I'll visit, but yours is going to be my last one for a little bit as far as spending wise. I'm going to take a break. Excuse me, as I get my craft stuff down here, I want to see what I actually have in inventory too. It's so much stuff, and as I'm unpacking, it's like, it's awesome, because like I said, I started out literally with a hook rug hook, 2 crochet hooks, and some yarn. And when I found YouTube and found the crafting community, oh my, has my crafting supplies blown up. So I like this one. I like this one. Of course, that one. And of course, the babies. The rest of them can stay in here. And there's still 1, 2, 3. There's a hat and a pair of gloves. There's the equestrian. I don't know why they have a bed over. They have the fence, unless you can maybe stamp it on the horse's back. That could be a possibility. And this one is 1, 2, 3, 4. There's still 6 in here. They don't look like they were ever used. If she did, she really cleaned them up well. So let's see here. We're going to see how good these work, because I want to know, because curious minds want to know. I'm not partial to the bigger stamps. That works kind of cute, I guess. I kind of like the clear ones where you can see where the ink is. And some of these ones that are styrofoam, they're not built far enough away. Watch this double print. I know that's probably not exactly in the same spot, and it did, but okay. Let's try in another area. Because these, like, on the bottom, they're not risen very high. where they should really take that into consideration when they stick them on these blocks. And I played with my first see-through ones here not too long ago. I have a little square upstairs, and I really like the way they stamp because you can see how much ink is on them and all that good stuff. So we'll do another one up here. Because I ordered a whole set of stamps off of eBay. See, it's not, these don't do as good. You can't even see his eyeballs. But they have ones I got off of eBay for Christmas last year. And when I went to use them, they're like these ones. Like you can't get like a full good print. See how this one does. That one did a little better, even though I wiggled it around. Let's try the babies. We'll put the babies right here. If it runs into the other horse, I don't care. This is a practice book anyways. Oh, the babies came out really nice. Ooh, really nice. Let's try the horseshoe. Put the horseshoe up here. Oh, that came out pretty good too. Could be too that that's bumpy, or I don't know, because I got stuff on the other side. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. I don't want a pink horse though. Even a yellow one looks funny. But it's fun checking this all out. I need my colored pencils over here. Better yet, use some markers. Black. This might not show up though. Thanks, Cheryl. Yeah, I've had a few of them like that, Christina. It's crazy. Oh, I bet. That's like me. I keep telling myself once my sale's over, I'll hurry up and get busy crafting, and then I end up creating because I don't have enough and I keep selling out of my tags. And then I'm like, okay. So then I turn around and I make more, and it's like, what the heck, Tim? Quit telling people you make more stuff. Fix his face a little bit. Get a freaking gnat in here. It's driving me crazy. Get. You pest. Get. How a gnat can be in here when it's so freaking cold. They need to go hibernate somewhere. I'm just going to make this one look a little better. I'll light him up. Try to anyways. It's one thing I haven't done yet is just doodle. I should, but I don't. I've watched other YouTubers draw, but I feel weird doing it here. He's going to have a pretty outline. So this was a hoof in the air. Can't really tell what the stamp is showing. Okay, so this is, oh, okay, so the back foot is in the air. And so is the front. So we have the front up because he's walking. Okay, I get it. That looks funny. Maybe I need to look at the stamp. It's like his leg here is like arched, but this leg back here looks goofy. Let me look at the stamp. Oh, because there should be a space. There should be a space right here. That's why it looks funny. I don't know if I can fix that now. I couldn't tell there was a space there. The hooves are almost at the same height, but it looks like he's got two of the same legs. I don't know. It looks funny. See? This should have been curved and there should have been a space right here. That's why that part looks funny, but oh well, it is what it is. Oh no, it's Tosh time. See, I speak at her and she comes. She's our spy. So how did you like the crunch picture? Tosh. Did you see my latest post on Instagram? Oh, salmon. All right, hurry back. Your order from your Brenda sale. You know, I'm so far behind. It's terrible, Christina. I literally could probably run videos for every day of the year next year and not go to a sale. That's how behind I got. I have sales from way back. I used to shop at Natasha's stream. I still haven't showed all hers. She would see this stuff and be like, what the heck? It's there. Some of these are like a year old. I've been trying to keep up though. I was telling him how my granddaughter, she's a lefty like me, Tosh, and she loves horses. And I found this really awesome horse book lot on eBay. And what came with the lot was not just books, but it was also this. Look how nice this is. I love my horses. It came with a stamp set of horses. So I took out all the ones. I don't like the ones with the bridles and stuff on. I like mine free. So I took out the little ones. I'll share this with her later, though, and when she gets older. But this is little baby horses. And I have a horseshoe and then a bigger horse that are all free. And so I decided to check them out. So I stamped it. And look what the eBay seller sent me. I get so spoiled with horse stuff. Look at this. They even drew me a picture of a horse and sent this as a thank you. That was from the eBay seller. And they put enjoy. So I'm taking my glue book and I'm making a page for that particular eBay seller. I don't know their name. I wish they would at least put their first name down on the front because I want to put their first name under eBay seller. Because this is my wonderful glue book. This is the very first glue book I've ever done. My 2020. So I'm going to make this horse outlined in black, but I'm coloring him brown because I feel like it. I just think he looks prettier. So we're playing with my colored pencils. And you get to watch a southpaw. And Tosh, you better not run out of toilet paper. If you start getting low on toilet paper there and you can't get any, Missy, you better let me know. I will have no problem mailing you a big old box of toilet paper. You remember that makeup box you won? It'd be bigger. I'm going to send you such a big amount of toilet paper that even your post office is going to want to break into it and steal it. Oh, do you have a Clydesdale? Are you really left-handed? I didn't know you were a lefty. See? We always find our sister southpaws. Look at us. This is my first glue book. Isn't this cute? This here is a cupcake holder. It's amazing the stuff that people craft with. Well, thank you, Tosh. So are you. Tosh is amazing too, people. She's so funny. She cracks me up. She has that mind that you just are drawn to, the way she thinks of things in such detail. She's very observant. My husband used to tell me, Tosh, and he's an Aries. He's a bad Aries. He used to tell me all the time when I would say stuff off the wall like you do, he'd say, you're just too deep. And I'm like, no, you're just too shallow. Us deep curls, we can't help the way we think. When you really pay attention and you've really been a good listener your whole life and you pick up on the funniest stuff, it's amazing. Like when you talk about the sweat and the food and the fast food, you had me rolling so bad. Oh my goodness, I think about stuff like that all the time. And he says the things that comes out of your mouth. He even told me it was one of the things that he liked about me, because he said you weren't like other females because we think too much. Yep. He's too shallow. I'm too deep. I think about the craziest things sometimes. You know, I don't know where it comes from. I think it's just in certain people's natures. So this was made, these were just magazine cutouts. And then this here was my birthday page for 2020, because I'm an Aquarian. Not an Aries, I'm an Aquarian. I'm a water baby. So here's what I did for my birthday, because this is like so me. I love butterflies, I love horses, I love music, I love giggles and grins. To me, my favorite sound in the whole wide world is to hear a child laugh. I love the giggles. I think when kids get the giggles, I just cannot not laugh. So this was my birthday page. And then this was my last page that I did off of horses, because I bought this from the UK through Etsy. It's a cute little horse with a hat on. This was part of what's it called? Project Life Cards this came out of. So I did this page. And I love this border, because I got this off of Esme off of Facebook. She is crafting me shop, and this woman can get some lace. She blew me away on one of her sales. Now, this is a sale I could have cried on, okay? You take a minute when the stream is over and you Google Valentino and you watch the prices of those dresses. We're talking like $6,000 dresses with lace. This woman got a hold of some Valentino lace that was left over from a guy who was designing out clothes. Apparently, she knows somebody in the up world out in California too, Tosh. She had it for $15 a yard. All I wanted was a snippet. I didn't care if I had the whole yard. I just wanted a piece of it. And so many women in her live stream jumped on this. There was none left when it came to my turn. I could have cried. I told Esme, I just want a piece of it. She was laughing at me because it was blue. And Valentino's got the most beautiful lace. And I just wanted to cry. But I missed it. But oh well, somebody else is out enjoying it. But she'll never get that again. This is a book that was falling apart that came into my bookstore, Cheryl. And I never knew anything about junk journals until I came to YouTube, or crafting journals is what I call them. Because to me, a junk journal, the true definition of a junk journal, and I don't care who's watching this and gets mad because they can kiss my butt. A true description of a junk journal is this: anything that you're about to throw out, like tags on your clothes, receipts from Walmart, I don't care what it is, envelopes stuck together, like I have some of those too. You can turn it into a craft. That's what a junk journal is. A junk journal is truly what you would normally put in a garbage. I consider this a crafty journal because I bought this stuff on this. Like, the book was falling apart and I own a used bookstore, and I have learned how to repurpose certain books. If your cover's good, but your pages are not, I covered this with Dollar Tree wrapping paper. These signatures are pages that are just folded. Usually I take about 10, because when you have 10 pages, you're going to have 20. Because you fold them in half, you cut them down to size, whatever the book is, and you sew them back in. What's covering this is wrapping paper from the Dollar Tree, and there's 3 signatures in this book of pages I put together. I sewed them back into this book after I took the guts out, because the guts were no good. But there was nothing wrong with the cover. And then when you sew them back in, this is what your signatures look like. And if you go to Etsy and you type in homemade junk journals, you will see a lot. They take and put buttons on these and beads on these to decorate them. It is the most coolest thing I've ever seen. And owning a used bookstore, it totally changed my whole perspective on how I look at a book. I've always loved books, but not like this. I never learned how to repurpose. And since doing that, my live sales have changed. Like, I was hardly making anything as a used bookstore owner, but now that I'm into the crafting part, I'm actually making a little bit of money, which is nice. Christina and a bunch of us sell stuff like, say you have an old deck of cards and you don't have all the cards, you bring it to the table and you sell them suckers for $1, and I guarantee you will sell, because we like the picture cards, like this kind of stuff. Tosh is over there in her minimalist going, all these women are crazy having all this junk laying around. But look, you have cards like this, like Go Ape, and you have these cute little monkeys. Look how cute that is. When you make a junk journal, especially for a kid, these will look awesome in them. So you never throw this stuff away, because we make tuck pockets and you can tuck these down inside of them. So say you're making a baby journal or a kid's journal, those would be good. This here is could be in a vintage journal. This is Williamsburg, Virginia. This can be used in a tuck pocket down inside of a journal that somebody creates. You put this in a pocket, and I'll show you an idea what I'm talking about. This is my other journal that I'm doing. This is for all the people that I love that's crafters on YouTube. This is a piece of sheet music that JD made. She's from Australia. I love it because we're from different countries too. She was one of the first people I bought a junk journal from. This is her business card, and this was a piece of paper that she collaged, and then she scanned it and made kits with it. Look how pretty that is. This here is just a piece of lace that you can turn into a pocket. This could come from a curtain. And then here is a tag she made. This is actually a napkin decoupaged on that page. Just a napkin you wipe your mouth with. You never think to see beauty in something that you just throw away and wipe your mouth with. We turn them into journaling cards. So this is what I mean by tuck pockets. Okay, these are cards. You can use this chicken one, could go into a cooking journal. It can go in a farm journal. There's a horse with trees. It's pulling a buggy of apples. And this here is just a note card with writing on it. Anything you would think to throw away, we can turn into junk journals. Now, to me, the craft booking world, which everybody knows what's, craft scrapbooking is, they kind of have rolled over into the junk journal community. They're creating brand new journals with brand new crafting paper, brand new this, brand new that. That to me is not a junk journal. They're calling them junk journals, but they're really not. To me, I call those crafting journals. That's just my opinion. If it's something you're not going to throw away, which you don't go out and purchase stuff you're going to throw in the garbage, that to me is a crafting journal. It just is. And but what's cool is, okay, say you have old keys, say you have dominoes, say you have tiles laying around from, games that you just don't use anymore, or you have missing pieces. Like what's the letter game? Oh God, Scrabble. Say you have Scrabble tiles laying around. You can get a tool, a drill that has a really, really small bit, and you can drill holes in those, and you can turn those into dangles. I have a one upstairs Jessica Rapp did. It's she did this ephemera journal, and I love it. And on the back of it, she's got a chain link coming down, but she's got an old key, and you can rust keys. Like there's ingredients you can throw your keys into, and it'll automatically rust them. Me personally, I'm not into rusty keys. I'm not into rust anything, because when I think of rust, I think of a tetanus shot, because when I was a kid, I stepped on a nail in my cousin's yard, and 4 tetanus shots and 2 in the butt cheeks did not feel good. So I don't do rust. There's a lot of women on here that love the old tape, and they're like, oh, I love the rusty nails and the rusty staples. I'm not into the rust. I'll pass on the rust. But I do like vintage stuff. So she'll take old keys and dominoes and even little pieces of dice, and they literally hook them up to like a link, and they turn them into a tassel that hangs off your book. It's the cutest thing how they do all this stuff. I'm not into all that part yet. I can do the dangles with ripped fabric and laces and things like that. I can do the tassels with those, but I'm not familiar with the tassels with all the drills and all that kind of stuff. And then these are pages I made for each one, and this is actually grunged up. But this is what a junk journal turns out to look like. But people make them with coffee dyed papers and tea dyed papers and mulberry papers, where you can actually turn them into your journal. This here is just a crafting journal to me. I'm not leaving any writing space. These are just my favorite crafters on here that I've bought from or have sent me happy mails. That's what this book is based on, my Sunny Fun Time mails. But there's all kinds of stuff out there. I mean, it just blew my mind entering and finding these people, because they're trying to save the earth from garbage, but you don't want to turn into too bad of a hoarder doing this. There's a fine line between being a collector and a hoarder. So they're taking things you can upcycle or recycle and turn into something beautiful. Like pieces, like if they're in Australia, I talked to a friend, Bonnie. She calls me all the time through Google Hangouts. She'll call me through there, and we'll talk on the phone. And they have an op shop over there. It's kind of like our thrifting, but they get better stuff, because they get like old pieces of carpet. They get wallpaper, all kinds of things and you can turn all that into a junk journal. Pieces that people were going to throw away. So this is my journal for now. Magazine pieces and stuff like that to play with. I have a ball, but that's just me. Ever since I discovered it, because I've always cut out poems like out of paper. I've always cut out. I don't know. It's just like if I see a book, it would come in, it would with horses and kids' pictures. I always cut the pictures out before I would throw the book away. I don't know. I guess I was a junk journaler in the making because I just did. And in the meantime, the journals that these people make are so incredible. Like here's the one I did for my cats. My 2 cats passed away. Oh, and that's another thing, Christine, I forgot to show you because I know she loves her cards. I should have made a pocket for these. She sent these too. She sent spotty cards in with my horse order. Aren't these cute? This looks like some kind of seahorse. It says, tell the truth, but do it with love. And then this one here says, Spotty, play with me and your life will become an adventure. And it's the Bella Sarah cards. I don't know what this is to, but they sent me 2 free cards with my order, which I think is cute. And a little unicorn sticker, which I don't do unicorns. I don't. To me, I'm not a unicorn person. I like Pegasus, but I'm not a unicorn. But I did this this is what you consider an altered book without signatures. Now this type of journaling, if Cheryl is still in here, this is where you go through a book and you rip out, say you count 5 pages and you rip out 3. You count 5 more pages, rip out 3 more. You want to rip out pages as you go along. This is what you call an altered book. And that's what I did with this one. And then you rebuild the pages back in of what you want to build. Like I turned the ripped out pages into pockets. Like I formed pockets around the pages. And this is a memory book of my cats that passed away. This was my Hope and Heather. And like this is a tuck spot here. These are actually harder to do, I think, than the regular junk journals. And then what I did was where I ripped the pages, I glued the pages this way and turned this into a side pocket where you could store stuff in it. Or you can glue it this way and up in the air and have like a down pocket. Or you can take a page and bend it back. I've literally sold a journal like that before. It's really awesome. I did that one with it was a walk through nature series, and I used a lot of National Geographics that people throw away. They have the beautifulest pictures. I don't know why people throw them away. I've never seen such beautiful photography with their animals and stuff. And then this was Halloween going into fall. This was my Hope. Tosh, when I talk about my Hopi, this is my baby. Hope and Heather were sisters from the same litter. We got them off a girl we went to high school with. And they lived for 21 and 22 years. That's how long we had them. And one of them had kidney failure, and she got to a point where we had to put her down. And the other one had a thyroid issue, which for a while they can do okay on medicines and certain foods, but then it like sucks the life out of them. It's terrible. They get like real skin and bones. It's terrible. Like they went to the vet. We did everything and they just couldn't be saved. But they were my babies and I miss Hope so much. I mean, Heather was more Mike's cat, but Hope was my baby. I mean, she was like up on my pillow. So this book is my memory to them. It's not done yet. I actually just bought some cat cards at another sale that's going to go into some of these pockets. But I love them. And I never knew that around Halloween, I never knew this until someone told me that they will not get, find homes for black cats because people actually buy them and kill them and use them for, what do they call that? Like a sacrifice for Halloween. I'm like, that's just ridiculous. But look at her. Isn't she beautiful? I just love her. She used to lay like this on our old house. We had a staircase. She would lay like the third step. We had like a railing, like a wooden rail going up the staircase. She would lay like this and look at you upside down when she was in her naughty mood. Her eyes would be all glowy. It would be pitch black in the room, and she would lay like this and just stare at you, and it was the cutest thing. I'd be like, "Hope, I'm gonna get you," and you'd see her paws, like, going all over the thing, and she was real playful, and I just remember her doing this. I just loved her. We called her Preacher because she had a white spot right on her neck. That's how we could tell the difference between her and Heather, because Heather didn't have one and Hope did. So we'd say, "Come here, little preacher." But she was a doll. She loved everybody. There's the white spot. You can see it here. And what's funny is I found this. It says, "Hope. Jesus gives me hope for tomorrow." Tell me, is that like not crazy to find stuff like that with her name? I just love her. Look at those eyeballs. I miss her so much. She followed me everywhere. She was my baby. And this is when they were babies. Hope and Heather. They're so cute. We brought them home and I crocheted these collars for them just for this picture. They went spastic trying to get these collars off. But they posed. I had to pose with them, but I just thought it was cute. So this is my memory book. And then, did you see this, Tosh? My husband's cousin Jamie drew this for me. This is my favorite horse. This is a Frisian. She literally looked at a picture on Google and she drew this. So, does this beat your Clydesdale stamp? My husband just got the wood. He's going to frame it for me. Jamie did an amazing job. His cousin can just sit out at nature. She draws bunnies and owls, and she's just got so much talent. Yep, I love it. Love it, love it, love it. So that sits right beside me. Yes. You know that they carried our knights and all that armor. Can you imagine? They had to be pretty strong horses. Frisians almost became extinct. And what was weird, when I played Farmville, I used to have Frisian babies on my farm. And it was just so weird because the Frisian has a YouTube channel. If you look up Frisian horses, they're actually on YouTube. And I shared their, I didn't know that people could tell you could share their videos. I didn't know people knew that. So every time I would see one of their videos pop up in my stream on Facebook, I kept sharing it. And this is before I even had a YouTube channel. I kept sharing it. So one day when I got into YouTube, it was so weird because they were following me. The Frisian channel was actually following me because I shared them out so much. Yeah, she drew it. That they started following me on YouTube. I thought that was hysterical. But they're in the Netherlands. Let me see if I can get it for you. Here it is. It says Frisian horses. They just hit 148,000 subscribers. Is that like not cool? They just started. When I was sharing them out, they were lucky to have like maybe a couple thousand. They grew really fast. And this channel is amazing because they show the babies and the birds, and like they even had one they lost, and it shows what they do with them. It's just the most amazing channel. And it's got my favorite horses on them. Yeah, I have more of Jamie's pictures on my phone. Let me see if I can show you some more. I've showed her art on here before a couple times. But I'll get to it real fast because I know you're always a busy woman, Tosh. You're a wanted woman. This is Jamie. First, I'll show you what she looks like. JB, don't get mad at me for showing you on my YouTube channel. She won't, though. She's a sweetheart. And yes, that's a real deer. You have to understand that my husband's grandparents were very earthy people. Like his grandfather could go out and show you a leaf, and he would tell you every herb. He knows the names of everything. He would pick out ginseng and show you. And so when Jamie was growing up, she had this experience with them. They were her great grandparents. So she's always had that love of nature. And this is a cat she drew. She puts them on her Facebook and I steal them. She came down to the store to visit me one day. And I said, I got to steal your art off the site. So she knows that I take her pictures. I keep trying to talk her into drawing this stuff for us so that she can open up an Etsy store and we could buy her art on tags. But she doesn't want to. She wants to teach. She wants to teach like the younger kids. And this was from an Aesop fables. She's even got the which will come up where where the mouse pulled the thorn out of the lion's paw. This is all her art. There it is. Look how she drew this. This is so cute. Yeah, she does pretty amazing. She really is. And one of the books she found in my store was one that got her into art to begin with. It's amazing how books can touch a person's life. Here's another picture. She's got them signed. All right, Cheryl, hurry back. I'll do a flip through of some of the pictures of hers I have. But she will go out in nature and she'll just draw. She'll look at a picture and draw from it. It's just, this is another one of her holding a chicken. She's friends with my oldest. They were hung out on Christmas and stuff. Here's another bird she drew. Here's another cat. This almost reminds me of a bobcat, the way it's got the hairs on its ears. But what I love is her details. Like when she draws something, look at that fur. Like she gets into the details. This is her mermaid. Look at that mermaid. We need a picture of Andre Tosh. Tosh has a bird with attitude. This is her fox. And this is another one. Look at this owl. Very, very pretty stuff. Look at that owl. There's a bunny. Like she loves that kind of stuff. I love looking at her talent. I love when people have talent. Hey, Dewan. See, I was talking about Dewan too, and he shows up. He's one of my longest viewers. He's been on my channel since I started, poor guy. That's what I tell him. He's listened to me since 2017. You poor guy, your ears must be bleeding. Why is it that my voice sounds so loud and I'm not yelling on my channel? It's like so weird. Like I'll have to turn my volume down to hear myself. I mean, I know that my mic is built into my cam, but it is like super loud. I told my husband, I said, I think I blew everybody's eardrums out. I said that one night, and somebody in the stream says, well, we can turn our volume down. Well, thank you, Dee. You're so sweet. He's been a dedicator. Very dedicated person. I was in a stream the other night, Dee, and they were auctioning off cards. And guess what those cards were? They were Star Wars. I thought of you. I said, Dee would be so disappointed missing in this. This double stamp, so this is going to look funny. But it is what it is. My stamp didn't stamp, so it's going to be a double worse. Black marker, or coloring in their feet. The baby horses, I think, turned out really well. I can't believe you're a lefty, Tosh. That's crazy. You wouldn't believe how many left-handed crafters there are on here. It's pretty interesting. I met a few. I'm going to leave the baby horses the way they look. That's good enough. That's cute. And the horseshoe turned out good. I am impressed with the horseshoe. Let's do... I'll color my horseshoe black up here with a pencil. One thing I like about color pencils over markers is they don't absorb the whole picture away. But I thought that was really nice of that eBay seller to draw me a picture. I thought that was awesome. Now, some left-handers write different. My cousin Patty and my cousin Cheryl, or my cousin Patty, one of my good friends that I went to high school with, they write like this. Like, they twist their hand like clear upside down and do it. And their writing is so beautiful, but I can't do it. So are you ready for one of the things that I got? You guys sit here for a minute, and I'm going to see if I can read this to you without crying, because I almost broke down the last time I tried. But I will come back with a surprise, because it's really, really awesome. Rocked my world when I found it. Since I'm done with this page, so I'm not going to add more to it. Can you hold on and give me a minute? Oh. Now that sounds like fun, Dee. All right, Cheryl. Thank you so much for stopping in, Cheryl. I love it. You guys want to wait here for a second while I do be right back? I got something I want to share with you that I was lucky enough to come across. All right, I'll be right back. Just gonna give me a minute because I had to go upstairs to get it. My husband stuck me in the basement with all my crafts. I think he's trying to get rid of me, Tosh. He's like, woman, get your clutter out of here. Oh, as Sanford's son would say, I'm a-coming, Elizabeth. I'm almost here. All right. Sorry, I had to take my doggy out to go pee-pee. Okay. Okay. My body armor. This is my favorite drink right now. I like the orange Gatorade, but the mango, oh, is delicious. Alrighty. So who wants to not cry with me? Okay. I've been looking for ledgers. Used, written in ledgers. So me and my hubby took a trip one day. Hold on a minute. I gotta take a drink. Because that's yummy. Hold on. Oh, I'm getting old and out of breath. That would be fun, Dee. That would be awesome. You have Instagram, Dee? If you do, you need to get with me in the messages. I'm under the same name. So, sometimes you go to antique places. They don't know the value of some of the things they have because a lot of antique places, not a lot, but just the ones I know here, they're more about the old furniture, the old toys, and things like that. So we've been out looking for a ledger that's been written in. I cannot find one, by the way. Never have. So we started going up more towards the city of Pittsburgh, and one guy had two journals from the 1800s, and they didn't have no writing in them, and he was just petting them. He was hoarding them. He didn't want to sell them. Here's my Facebook, Dee. It's a long word, but it's my bookstore. People see this, they're like, what? It's Minda's Bookstore and more all ran together. That's where I'm at. I'm never under my name. People message me all the time like I'm not there because it's too hard to toggle because they're two different accounts. I didn't know when I started my store that you could have like a store page in your main page. So they're two separate accounts and it's too hard for me to constantly use passwords back and forth. So I live under my bookstore one. So that's where people can find me. Let me fix this. Hold on a second. My camera is like crazy down here because the arm, it's like the nail was stripped and it doesn't want to hold my cam up correctly. So I'm constantly fixing it because I can't get the nail to go up through the bottom because it's like connected to a table. But anyways, so this guy at this antique store said, I got this basket full of old stuff that somebody brought to me and I don't know the value of it. Well, he also had a photo album laying there that was filled with Tiny Tins, which like shocked the crap out of me because he was only selling them for $1 a piece and I had no clue what Tiny Tins were. So I asked Patty because she's my vintage person and she was like, oh, if he's only charged them for $1, you better go grab them up because people sell them no less than $7 each. So that was a deal. So I did get the Tiny Tins and I'm hoarding them. I'm not done petting them yet. This is my thing when I go buy vintage stuff. I tend to want to pet it for a while. When I get sick of it, then I might sell it. But in the meantime, I'm not sick of it yet. So he had this basket sitting there and it had a bunch of old letters in it. Okay, so you'll see this. And people pay like you would not believe for this type of ephemera. I've been to, auctions on lockers and things like that. And this just amazes me that I was so fortunate because he gave me a deal. He wanted me to take the whole basket, and I told him no, because a lot of them are envelopes where they cut the stamps off, and I actually like the stamps, and I like them when they have the letters in them. So, to me, I like that better, but that's just my preference. There you are, D. Hold on, let me get in there and add you back. Gotta confirm you. Oh, I get a few on here to confirm. Holy moly. There you are. Heck, I had like 5 people on here that wanted to confirm me. Okay, I gotta keep up with my Facebook. Messenger is the best way to get a hold of me, or Instagram messaging. So anyways, as I started going through this, I was picking this out. These are really cool because these are old telegrams. And this is from 1899. I love stuff from the 1800s. I don't know. It's just my thing. And this is from 1894. This is headquarters, Pennsylvania Military College. And all these letters. And he was like, how much you want to pay? I gave him a price. He sold him. So I was like happy because some of this stuff you can't touch this cheap. So I took what I could get. I said, if you ever get anything else, hit me up in an email. So hopefully he doesn't check around to find out how much this stuff is worth, because I just think this is awesome. It's like a step back in time. Look how pretty this is. This was from a wedding. I don't know if this was supposed to be a greeting card or what. There's like nothing in it. There's like a piece of that real fine tissue. There's 2 of them together, and I got this. This would be really nice if somebody was doing like a vintage style wedding journal. And look at this. Look at this. This is Paris. This is July 24th. And all it says is 03. This is 1903, by the way. Or 18, no. Is it 1803? I don't know. One or the other. And look at the writing on this. Okay, this was, yeah, it's 1903. Because both cards were side by side and it says 03 and they're both Paris. This is July 15th, 1903. This is just, this to me is just, I love this. I gotcha. So then I'm skipping down through because I didn't know what all I had. So I come home and I open this up. And I'm going to try to read this best I can. And I am going to try to turn this into a digital ephemera and sell it through my Etsy, because I know people like this kind of stuff. Look at this font. First of all, I'm going to bring up the title to you. And I'm going to try to read this and not choke. Okay. The handwriting on this is just amazing. There's some words I cannot pronounce on this. Let me see if I can get it down here. This is called The Soldier's Dream. And this is all handwritten. It says, our bugles sang truce, for the night clouds had lowered, and the sentinel stars set their watch in the sky. Then thousands had sunk to the ground over Froward. I think it's Floward. I'm not sure. They had funny words back then. The weary to sleep and the wounded to die. While something that night on my pallet of straw. Can you imagine a soldier on a pallet of straw? By the wolves carrying, I don't know why they use the word faggot in here. I do not know what it meant. But it said by the wolves carrying faggot that guarded the slain. I have no idea what that means. At the dead of night. So please don't take that out of text, anybody that's listening to this. At the dead of night, a sweet vision I saw. And thrice ere the morning dreamed it again. Sly thoughts from the battlefield's dreadful array, far from they had roamed on some desolate tract. 'Twas autumn, and sunshine arose on the way to the home of my childhood that welcomed me back. Then fled to the pleasant fields traveled so oft. It's how they said oft instead of often. And last morning walk where my bosom was young. I heard my own mountain goats bleating aloft, and I knew the sweet strain that the corn something sung. Then pledged, this isn't going to come out great because I don't know some of these words. They pledged the wine cup, and fondly I something from my home and my weeping friends never to part. And then you open this up. And I mean, this is a soldier writing this away from home. That's what got me. My little ones kissed me 1,000 times o'er, and my wife sobbed aloud in the fullness of heart. Oh, stay with us, rest, thou art weary and worn. And fair was the war-broken soldier to stay. But my sorrow returned at the dawning of morn, and the vice in my dreaming ere melted away. I mean, and it was written by a Howard, and I don't know if that's P-A-H, P-A-K. It's like it's faded, like it's split. And this was written 29th, how they used to write this, 29th September 1862. And it's like this to preserve this long just amazes me. I wish I knew this person's last name, buddy. I would love to go and try to find out who this was. But see, his name was Howard. It says P-A, and then it's like the letters cut off. But look at that. Is that like not sad? And I was like, I love it. So yeah, I'm going to make it a digital. I love stuff like this. I mean, to preserve all this time, it just amazes me. And then here is a Saloon passenger list. This was for the Anchor Line U.S. mail steamers. This all came out of the same. He had like this basket full of stuff, and these were all the names. This was SS City of Rome, New York to Liverpool, via Queenstown. Saturday, May 3rd, 1890. And I would love to know who preserved this so long. Because I love this stuff. I wish I could find somebody that, I'm just sentimental. You know, when we were kids, my parents got us hope chest and things. You don't see people sentimental like this anymore. And this is SS Sarcassia. This is a list of, they called them saloon passengers, almost like, you know, I don't know why they said saloon. It'd be something fun to look up, because saloon in the cowboy days was a bar. And I don't know what saloon means when it comes to ships. I don't know. This was Thursday, 4th of September, 1890, from Glasgow to New York via Moville. John Hedderwick was the commander, and these are all the listed the names on where the people were going or from. I don't know if it was where they were going or where they were from, because this is New York and Denver, Colorado, Boston, Massachusetts, like Caledonia, New York. Like there's all these different places listed in here. But I love this type of ephemera. To me, whoever saved this, God bless you. And then I'm going to take it to a funnier note so I don't get all sappy. This is hysterical. I was reading this to my daughter earlier. Let's see if I can find it. What page it was on. It's a wedding list. It's so funny. Oh, and by the way, this is the tuition for a quarter of college, okay? This is for tuition for Isaac Parker for quarter ending January 29th, which is my birthday. Isn't that weird that I would find something on my birthday? That's even weirder. 1892. $25 was all it cost for a quarter of college. I was like, yeah, I like to see that nowadays. Okay, here's the list. Okay, are you ready? This is so cute. This is Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, February 26, 1906. This is the wedding that was going to happen on February 27th. The ceremony is at 7:30 p.m. There's going to be 175 persons attending, not people, persons. The colors are going to be in pink and white. This is the menu. You have a bouillon, you have celery, you have radish and olives, and you have small rolls. You have sweetbread croquettes and lettuce sandwiches. What the heck is a lettuce sandwich? Chicken salad, coupe Saint Jacques, whatever that is, special cases for a bridal party, assorted European cakes. You had bonbons. Oh, Peggy Bundy had it going on. You had coffee. You had one bride's cake. You had a Sauternes punch, and it has in parentheses, on porch. And you got one lace covering in pink icing, 2.5 by 2.5. You got 8 gold chairs, 9 round tables and covers, 4 each, 3 candlesticks and pink shades, all wares in silver. You had 10 servants, 1 checkman for carriages, and it cost $5 extra for a carriage. Can you imagine paying $5 for a horse carriage? That would be awesome. Back then, that was probably a lot of money, though. I just think this stuff is just, I don't know. It amazes me. It just really does. But this letter is just, I love his handwriting. And then here was another written hand letter. I haven't even begun to read because look how it's all flung out. Many years have gone since last something back the pleasure. I can't read all their ratings. Somebody else probably could better than me. This is said Sailors, Snug Harbor, New Brighton, Staten Island, New York, in a physician's office on March 1st, 1902. And look at this letter. This is like unreal. It's like a 2-page letter. I don't understand it all yet because I haven't really sat down and tried to decipher it. And then these were reports of deaths. William died this morning. This was 1897. This is a Western Union telegram. And then here's the second one saying that Ira died this morning at 4 o'clock. Don't bring that package. Whatever the package was. Another Western Union. Are you leaving me? Hey, Lex. And here is this. You know what this is? Don't leave yet. Don't leave yet, Christine. I have no clue what this is. This is a Monaco National Bank. Some kind of promise. Promise to pay. You could promise to pay stuff. I don't know. And then here's another card. I like how they wrote on them. It says, best wishes to you all for a very happy Christmas season. And this one's December 16th, but I don't know what year this is. It's funny how they wrote on the back the address, but then on the front, they wrote their message. This is said South Africa. It says box something 14 Johannesburg, South Africa. Beautiful flowers. It said wildflowers here, summer now. I love that. And then, of course, here's the 2 Paris postcards I showed before. And the addresses are just interesting. And then the messages are on the front. And this card's got like glitter on it. Look at that writing. This was 1903. They even had glitter back in 1903. And then look at this little envelope. This is what I thought was cute. Like back then, your addresses, it just says number 223B, Wiley Avenue, Pittsburgh. Look at this little tiny envelope. And then here's another letter. This is May 5th. I don't know what year this is, though. 1884. It just says 84. You automatically want to think 1984, but it's 1884. How pretty that paper is. This doesn't look like it ever left the envelope. But this is the kind of ephemera we look for. This is the stuff we want in our journals. And look how tiny these envelopes are. This almost is like a coin envelope. This has got some kind of seal in it. I'm always afraid of ripping this. This is, they didn't do September 15th. They did 15th of September, 1867. And there's another letter. And it's got like this little punch seal right there. Not exactly sure what that seal is, but you can see it punched right in there. Look how tiny this is. I love this little envelope. Little envelope. I wonder what you would do if you would make a letter this small and take it to the post office and say, how much postage would this cost? That would be something I would do. I'm curious because that's like littler than a postcard. Look how tiny that is. My post office guy probably would send me home. And then this is Dear Lyd, Lide. Whoever this was, her name was on the postcards too. This is February of 1900. Look at that writing. Look at that. And one of these days, since they took cursive out of schools, people aren't going to be able to read this. This says your boring sisters or your something sister. I don't know. So there's that letter. And then here's a book that's bills. Their milk bill was $5.58. I don't know if this was for the month. I don't know. I wish I knew how far along this was. They had tea for 90 cents. They had dishes for $1.20. It's like, you go back in time and you read this stuff. And I even have an electric bill that I found in one of my books that was for $1.48. Could you imagine $1.48 for your entire electric bill? And yeah, her name was Lyd Blair. This is from an attorney at law. Look at this rating. Oh my word. This had to have been written with one of them feather quills. Look at this. This is August 20th, 1884. That's my dad's birthday, the 20th. Look at this. From your long something silence, I began to, I don't know, I can't read all this. Their writing is just so amazing. I could just see him dipping that little feather. I don't know. This is so cool. But I went through that basket. He was going to give me the whole basket, but I didn't want to be greedy and take the whole thing. I just picked through what I wanted. My husband's like, you should have took it all. I go, no. Because I want to go back. I only wanted stuff that had everything with it. You know, like the real letters. There was a lot of envelopes that were empty. This was from Pittsburgh, July 15th of 1879. My sweet, darling wife. I received your very nice, encouraging letter this morning saying you all were feeling so good. I was sorry to hear none of you felt good on your journey. And my something darling boy, I am cheered he has got well over that spell. Could you imagine how they talked back then? Oh, look at this writing, people. Look at this. I hope this scans good. And this paper. It's like, I have no clue what kind of paper this is. So this is like no other paper I've ever felt. It's like so shiny and smooth. Love this paper. It's just crazy. I need somebody that can read better than me to decipher what all these words are. So there's that one. But I got a nice little pile. I told him if he gets any ledgers, he better let me know. Here's another one. June 13th, 1878. My own sweet darling wife, I received your very welcome letter this morning. Was happy to hear from you. I was feeling, I don't know, until the postman would something. I hate not being able to read the whole thing. I know. I love this stuff, Tosh, though. I mean, I can't help it. I'm not a hoarder. I'm a collector. Look how tiny these envelopes were. It just kills me. And look how this letter is written. Oh, this would be something I've actually done. It goes from here. It's got this cute little seal. But it goes from here. This one here is my something sweet pet. Look at those names. Isn't it? And if you go through here and you go to the end, look how he did this. He ran out of room and then he wrote sideways up here. Now that's something I've done before. When I'd be writing letters, I'd run out of space. I would either take a line and he starts up over here. Look at that writing. Oh my word. This writing is amazing. D. Tosh isn't. Tosh has got an impeccable place. I don't even think she lets her bird get dirty. I think Andre would have a fit. Okay, now this one I can read. This is unreal. Look at this. Dear Mabel, I received your letter and will say in regard to the old clock, I have two of them. They didn't put the W in two. Or I would not fart with a Packer clock. Look, they even read the word fart. Or is that supposed to mean part? It looks like fart. I'm serious. Look at this. It looks like fart. Don't it? Surely that means part. I have two of them and I would not part with the Packer clock, but it does. It looks like fart. Look at it. I'm not lying. Okay. As your folks would like to have it, I have decided to sell it for $25. Everybody is well. Rosetta something sends her love to you, Alma. Sincerely, Mrs. Cook. It says February the 10th, 1902 at the bottom. Look at that letter. That is so cool. But this paper is like so shiny. It did. Did you see it, Tosh? Oh my goodness, that's funny. That's why I have a hard time reading these, because their letters are not sometimes clear. That's so funny. Hey, I have an auction house and some people trying to find me ledgers. You know that they used to take ledgers and they used to burn them. They used to throw them away. And they had no value. And it's the writing. I literally have been looking, Dee. I've been traveling everywhere trying to find a ledger. And they are so hard to find. And the reason why I want a ledger, okay, I know that there's some people on here that sell them, but that's not the reason why I want it. I want one really nice ledger that's got the, the rings on it from like the 1800s or somewhere early like that, 18 to 1900s. I want it to have like really pretty writing in it. So it would have to either come from a doctor's office or maybe like a farm. But I want it to use at a print date. Like if it's so old, you can scan it and it's out of copyright date. So it's not going to count against you. I want it for backgrounds. Like when I'm creating certain books and like using background pages for my journals, I just want one good one that I can keep rescanning as a reference. It's not about reselling it. I want to hoard it. It's just hard to find one because a lot of ones I've seen, like I've even seen some for sale on eBay. They either want like $200. I'm not paying that much for that, for a journal that people used to throw away. I don't have that kind of money. So what I want to do is just have a decent one. I mean, I think like 60 or 80s around mine. I feel that it's worth that just to have the writing in it. But I just think that some people, when you look on eBay, they're like thin with no pages in them, or it has scribbles in it. And I want good writing. Like I want really pretty script writing like you see in these letters to use as like a background. But I want it ledger wise on ledger paper. I think it would look really pretty. And here's another letter. Look at this one. Boy, doesn't this person like write everywhere. You got to be real careful with these pages too, because see where it's ripping. Like these are getting brittle. That's why I open them slowly. This is Darling Somebody. This is another one to Mrs. Lyd Blair. And look, they have a hat, $7.50. They have corset, $2. Sash, $10. Look at that. Combs, $1.50. Shoes, $4. This is just unbelievable. I don't know what the date is on this, but look at that writing. Ugh, I've got to get a scan of this before it falls apart. This paper is very, very delicate on this one. Look at that paper. And this was April 8th. And I have no clue the year, but it's old. The postmark says 1907 for that letter. And then we have Headquarters Military College. Is hereby granted leave of absence from 12 o'clock on December 22nd, 1893 till 6 o'clock, January 4th, 1894. At which time he will report for duty at the college, the border of Colonel Hyatt. That's crazy. And then this picture of this woman. It'd be funny if this was Lydia, but it doesn't say. It says Marion and Williams Fine Art Photograph Rooms. This was from Kansas City, Missouri. No clue who that lady is, but I like the picture. It's like some writing got pulled off. I love the pictures, though. And then this one here is a Western Union Telegraph from November 12th, dated Indianapolis to Charity somebody. And this says, Alma died 5 o'clock. We'll leave in morning, 8 o'clock. Lid. Lide. Lots of death telegrams. I wonder if that's $18.99. Like they got it $18.9 and then like another 9 slashed through the last 9. I don't know. It's either $18.99 or $18.90. I'll hold the date up. So if anybody knows how to read these, I have no clue. I don't know if you can see that or not. It's November 12th. But aren't these cool? This is like a blast to the past, you know? Awesomeness. It's my escape world. And my tins are upstairs. And the tiny tins come in different kinds. They actually, somebody found Annie Oakley and Jesse James, who was one of the outlaws. They actually found out their tiny tins, and if you Google it, they sold for $2 million. Could you imagine? But you'd have to know what they look like when they're younger to figure out who they were. But the tiny tins I haven't looked at them real close. They're like a tin, and they're only so big, like the size of this woman's picture almost that I have. They're little, and they're real dark. And you can stick a magnet to it. I took a magnet in my purse when I went back to get it, and it stuck to them. But they had phenotypes, and they have a bunch. I've just been studying them to learn what they are. I have no clue. Yep, I'm going to have to really watch that one. And this was one of the law books I got. My brother cleaned out a place. This is from 1928. Get this law book. I've sold a lot of these in my live sales. People will gut them or save them. They'll gut them and use the covers to repurpose as beautiful journals, which I have seen some beautiful ones made out of these. Because it's got the key. People like the spine. And this is Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, Virginia, and West Virginia is in this book. And I had a whole set that somebody left in a back room, was covered in paint chips, and it took me 3 weeks to clean these suckers. I was popping paint chips off of them and busted my nails. But I reserve these, and I sell these. There's a guy selling these on Facebook for $20 each. It's like, really, dude? I'm not a capitalist. I'm sorry. I've been selling them for $2.50 a piece, and I'm happy with that. That's paying for my cleaning them, as far as I'm concerned. I had them from 1916 to the 1950s because they were replacing. This is 1953. I had them lined up across my 2-car garage. I had 177 of these. But they were all different because it looked like where they were falling apart, they were replacing them. So it's like a mix of law books. Like you can even tell the difference looking at the spines. And this one has a key in 73 second series. That one just has 140 SE, Southeastern Reporter. And it's funny now when I'm watching TV, because ever since I got these books, I'll be watching a show and it has a lawyer in it, and you'll see these books in the background. So it's so cool that I've seen these come out like on Criminal Minds and different shows I've watched. But I'm getting down to the nitty gritty. The only ones I have left, and people have not seen this stash yet, are the ones that have the leather, but they're falling apart. So I don't know if anybody's going to be interested in those or not. Because I did sell some leather ones a long time ago. But I'm down to just a few now. I sold a lot of these in my live sales because people love them so much. And a lot of them, they don't want them gutted. A lot of them want the whole book. But I could ship these media for people that want copies because media mail's cheap. And this is what it looks like when it's just the cover. This is a gutted one. So you take this and it's just got the papers, and this is what it looks like. Like you can tell they're dry rotted, some of them that are older, so they're easier to bust apart. But I've gutted some and sent them to people, and I've kept the pages. And then what I'm doing with the pages, this is an upcycler, not a hoarder. You hear that, Tosh? Just saying. You can take the pages from these as long as they're okay, and I'm making tags out of them. So I take and I'll use the pages and I'll cover one side of a tag, and they look really nice because you can use the words. These are all out of copyright. So you can use them and, put stuff on them or whatever. I mean, the 50s you can't scan, but the early ones you could if you wanted to. But you can, use stamps on them, distress them, draw on them. You can do whatever you want. So that's why these pages look really nice on tags. I don't have any down here because I sold them all. The ones I've made so far. But I conserved all my paper so they live on. These books live on in a journal. They're just, some of them are taken apart and some are not. But they look good. This is my tag set. I have no clue what to use this for. Oh, I have another distress ink I didn't even know I had. Vintage. This was cool. This was on clearance. This is a Tim Holtz set. It was on clearance for $8.97. And I got this and some distress inks. I really love this. I like to have a couple more of those. And it come with 3 mini distress inks, 1 mini blending tool with the applicators to replace them, 1 mini mister. All that's if you want to mist stuff. And it comes with 10 vanilla tags and a technique booklet that I don't even see. This must be if you want to. I've never used this. You must add water to this. Will come off. There it is. And add water to it and spray. Maybe a blotter that spreads it out. That's what I'm guessing this is. I don't know. I've never used it. I'll have to look it up. This cute little kit to get started. So with that, any special plans you all have this weekend? Tosh, where's that boo? How's your boo? I just got orders to fill. Busyness. Always busy. I just finished up my last of my orders today. Thank goodness. I got to go to Christine's sale tomorrow on her channel. And then I need a break from shopping. I have shopped till I dropped for supplies. Maddie's channel kills me. My goodness, that woman. She pulls out the beautifulest papers. Child Bella and Stamperia, and I just got to stay away from her channel. Every time I go to her channel, I just want to buy everything. I did better this time, though. I got a journal I'm working on, which is going to be a wow. And I can't wait till you all see it. I'm so pleased with it so far. The only thing that my husband's complaining, he thinks that it's too wide. He's blah, blah, blah. He says, you redid it, and he said the spine of it's too wide. And I'm like, I don't care how wide it is. I like it. I want one that's going to stand up as a decoration. So we'll see how this turns out. But I think I'm going to have to add more signatures. I've got 5 so far, but it needs more because I don't think 5 is going to be enough to fill it. The spine. Excuse me, the spine is big enough for me to wrap my hand from my middle finger to my thumb and hold on to it. So I would say it's probably approximately a 5-inch to a 5.5 inch spine. And when you consider that this is a 1.5. So a 5.5 spine would be when you look at this piece of paper, it would be about right there. That's how wide that spine's going to be. It's a big one. It's a fat alligator one is what I call them. But I wanted it to be that way. And you know how you get when you thrive on what people say to you? This is why the negative sets into people. Is I have literally stared at this and looking at it thinking, should I listen to him and should I really make a brand new spine or should I just make it? It's like the confidence. You know what I mean? When you're creating something, I don't want it to be critiqued yet. It's not even built yet. But it's like I'm sitting there thinking, do I really want to make it smaller? Because it would look nice both ways. Or do I want to do what I was doing and just ignore him? And I sat and debated on it. And then I thought, you know what? F him. I'm going to do it how I want to. I don't care if he likes it or not. I want a fat book. If you don't like it, too bad. I'm not listening to his advice. It's my darn book, darn it. It's not like he builds journals. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to have a fat journal, and I'm okay with that. I've made one other alligator mouth, and it's sold. Somebody bought that one. This one here is not going to be for sale, though. I am taking my digital world, because when I learned how to scrapbook, I learned how to do it digitally. I never knew how to do like a real scrapbook. So I'm taking my digital world, and now that I'm learning how to do journals with stuff in them, I'm combining both methods together in one book. And I cannot wait to see how this turns out. I'm so excited. Well, it's going to be tall. I don't even know how I'm going to do a flip through on this thing because it's not flat. But I don't know. Maybe it'll look better once the pages are in it. It's really going to be a really wide book. I seen one girl on Etsy. She built a book so wide, Dee, that it was bigger than this mat. It was so huge. I don't know what I'd do with a book that big, though. That's a little too big. I don't even know how many signatures this girl had in it, but it was crazy. But this is going to probably be the biggest journal I have ever made. Not probably, it is. It could probably fit about 10 signatures in it. But I don't want to do 10 signatures. Because there's no way. I couldn't even sell it anyways. Because most of the time when I make journals, I try to keep my prices low because I take consideration in shipping. And that's just me. I never ever look at receipts and tally it up. I like making them. So I think the most I ever sold one for was $35. And that's taking some getting used to, because if you can go to the dollar store and get $1 for a journal, and I know there's no art in it or nothing like that, but I think the price ranges that I like for journals, honestly, is anywhere between $10 at the lowest to like maybe $35 at the highest. That's just my personal opinion. I know that there's people that go out and they buy laces and they buy all this frills in it, and it probably does cost. This one here, when I'm done with it, with ink, everything that I'm putting into it, probably would, there's no way I would make back unless I sold it for $100 what I'm putting into it. But I cannot see selling a journal for that much money. And I know there's people that do it on here, and more power to them if people want to pay that, but I don't. So I don't care how beautiful and exquisite a journal is. I am not paying $100 for it. I think that's a lot of money. There's a couple people that I have paid a little bit higher out of my range just because I like the person, because I know who they are. And that's a little different when you want to support someone who you know. But to me, I can't see myself selling a journal for that. And I can't sell this one anyways, because a lot of the pictures that I'm using is from Pinterest. And I do not believe they're out of copyright. So this is like my test journal. And I actually want to set it on one of my bookshelves when I'm done as just something to look at. So it's going to be a crafting journal, not necessarily a writing in journal. But I am excited about it because I'm pulling two worlds together, and it's just exciting. It really is. And I need to take my lace upstairs because I need to work on it. I was going to work on it in front of everybody on my lives, but I don't like people judging my work. So I'm going to wait till it's done. And then one day, when I get this one over with, I might start from scratch and just take and create an entire journal on my Wednesday night lives from beginning to end, so people can see exactly how I do it. We'll see. We shall see. Because I think it's fun to watch people in the process of it that don't, I know some people they like painting and doing things, and their book needs to lay open and dry. I don't have one of those fancy little blow dryers, because some people do that too. They'll blow dry it in front of you. I don't have time to do all that. So I'll just probably make it a decent type of journal. And if anything needs to dry, if I decide to do anything like that in it, I'll just have to do it off. But I want to see a whole journal. And I don't care what anybody says. They'll say, well, you don't want to see this dry and, take this long. I do. I want to see the long process. I am one of those type of people that if you do a 2-hour video, I'll watch the whole damn thing. I don't like going to someone's channel, watching it for just a few minutes and commenting, because to me, you're not getting the whole experience of what the person wants to say on their channel. So I have literally sat, and I'll be doing laundry. Even a gamer I did today, and you know what? I did forget to comment on his thing. I'll have to go back and comment. But I sat and literally let over an hour run while I was doing my packages, doing laundry, and I just let his gaming run, listening to what they were talking about. I will do that because I think a full view is better. And I know a lot of people will go, oh, there was another gamer was telling everybody, he had a lot of subscribers. Oh, I only watched 30 seconds of each person. To me, that's a cop out. You're not really commenting then on their content if you're only watching 30 seconds and leaving. I want to see the whole video. I don't have time all the time to watch those long videos, because I know I have a lot of people I follow on YouTube, but every once in a while, it's just nice just to let a long one run. And it's really hard on some of them for me to give watch time to, because every single video they do or live stream is like an hour to 5 hours long. And it's hard. But I do like watching to the end because I like listening to what they have to say the whole time. I don't want to miss something. Especially when I watch Tasha's videos. When I watch Tosh, I watch the whole damn video. Because you want to hear her. She's just hysterical. She'll be out cracking jokes. And it's so funny though, because sometimes they're so long, I have to like, I'll do notes in my phone. You know, your little note thing, notepads in your phone. I'll forget something that she made me laugh about because an hour later, you know, she talks about so many subjects. So what I'll do is I'll make a comment in that notepad and leave it sit there and then listen to some more. And then if I have anything else I want to say to what she says, I'll just keep those comments in this little notepad. And then at the end of the video, I copy and paste the whole thing in her comment section. So that way I don't miss nothing she talks about. So there you go. Cheat sheets, people. Get your notepads open on your phone. Make little notes about the person you're watching and then give them a really good comment at the end. That's how you do it. But anyways, I am going to go because I keep getting emails from StreamYard. You went over your time about an hour and I can't pay for it right now. It's like $200 for a year. It's only $20 a month for unlimited, but they bill you a higher amount than that. And right now I don't have that money to spend. So I have to keep it to 20 hours a month and under. They say they won't cut you off, but yeah. Well, hi, Joe. I'm glad you got to pop in and say hello. I tried to catch Millie earlier today. I hate when YouTube says somebody's live and then you go to click in their stream and they're not there anymore. That's so irritating. I was in the middle of watching a video when her live started, and then when I was done, I went to click in hers because it said she was still live and she wasn't. It said like live with 3 still watching, but there was nobody there, and it was over. And I hate missing all her lives, but she always hits when I'm in another person's stream, either modding or a person I regular visit, and I never seem to get into hers enough. Thank you, Dee. I enjoyed it. It was fun sharing my little pile of ephemera. That means a lot to me. So I'll put this away somewhere, and yeah, I think I'm going to scan these in and share them because I really love this. And I have an Etsy store, so I might just scan my little letters in and share them as digitals if they turn out good. But his letter, since it's written on 2 pages, what I'll probably do with his is I'll find a way in my art program to put the bottom with the top so it's all 1 page. I know, but I seen her on every so often, and I try to catch her, Joe. I really do. It's hard getting around to everybody's channels. It makes it really, really rough. But I haven't even done videos the past couple days. I took a little break. We had our roof redone, and I don't want people to hear hammering in the background. They did it in 1 day. I was impressed. We had hail damage, and our insurance covered a brand new roof. Thank God, because now we have 25 years. We don't have to worry about the roof, hopefully. And they did it in 1 day. These guys came in, and they did not lollygag. They started at like 7 in the morning, and they were finished and out of here by 5. It was wild. These guys really worked it. So I got that out of the way, and then I just didn't feel like doing videos the past couple of days. I've just been really tired and trying to get adjusted to my husband's new schedule. He don't get home until 2 in the morning. He's working a bunch of overtime now, so he's going to be busting his butt, and we're trying to get Christmas together. I just got a lot of stuff on my plate. And I've been, like yesterday, I was listening to it was crazy. My husband says, how do you do this? 1 day this week, I literally had 4 lives going off on my computer at the same time. I was listening to one on my phone, and I had 3 browsers up on my computer watching all of them, all having crafting sales. So while I'm listening to them, I have a book that sits beside me now. So when I make a purchase, I write down what I spent to keep track of what I spend, because it's so easy when they have $1 and $5 items. That stuff adds up. So I've been paying attention to that. And in the meantime, I was cleaning my computer room. So I took, because my computer room is kind of like slash my craft room slash where I store all my decorations at for holidays. It's like filled. So now that I'm closing my bookstore eventually, it's going to be a little while though, because I have a lot of books to go through on my videos. I'm giving them a chance. They get a chance on YouTube for people to see them and buy them if they want them. They have a chance in the market. They go on my Facebook market page when I'm done with my YouTube videos, so you all get to see the books first. And if they don't sell, they get donated, because I just can't. I'm trying to empty my store, so it's going to be a while. But that's what I'm doing, because I still have boxes and boxes I haven't even went through yet. My husband's like, "You need a dump truck." I said, "No, I don't." So what I'm doing is, as I'm emptying my shelves, this is crazy. I started because I've been watching Tosh too, because she's a minimalist. You know, she talks about the because I do want to have a better area. So what I've been doing is, my one bookshelf I started in for the educational section. What I had showed up to the point of the educational, that was in a room. That was the bathroom. The bathroom in my bookstore is huge. So I had a section that I stored books in totes. So I did all those, and I'm trying to get that room cleaned out. It's not quite done yet, because I want to scrub the floor in there and stuff. And I started in one of my bookshelves in the store on the educational part. I got 3 shelves emptied. And then of course I cleaned them and everything. I scrubbed them, because I have I use like Dawn or something, warm. And then I clean all that up, because we have a lot of cobwebs and spiders down here. It's like, this is like spider heaven in my store for some reason. So I got those shelves cleaned. And as I was cleaning one off, then I was bringing stuff out of the bathroom that I had put aside that I want to use for crafting. So I've been filling the shelves up with my crafting, and I got some boxes that I cut the lids off of, and I got like lace in one and scraps in another, and I'm like building so they'll never be empty. My shelves are filling back up with my crafting stuff that I have upstairs, because this is going to be my crafting place down here. So that's what I've been doing as I empty shelves. But what kills me is, we had a leak in our back garage where I stored books, and I was afraid mold and stuff would get into them. So I pulled them all to the center. It's like, when you walk in my bookstore right now, it's a maze. It used to be impeccable when I opened it. I had a video on Google. It was like so clean and so crisp, and now it's a mess. It's a disaster. So the back garage is cleared out, where I had all the storage that leaked. My husband fixed the roof, and then we had a 160-mile-an-hour wind that blew the shingles back off. He was so mad. So I'm glad I never put my books back. But what we plan on doing with that roof, we didn't have that section done, because we're turning it into a cement porch patio, because we want a place where we can go out and, grill and stuff. And we don't have a porch or a patio on this house. So that's what we're going to do. That roof needs to come off. He tried to fix it. The wind blew it back off, but then he noticed when he patched it, there's like a break in one part of the joists. Like, the roof is no good. It's old. You can even walk in there and smell the age of the wood. So he's going to take it off. We're going to take it off. We decided to turn it in instead of doing a wooden patio. It's actually cheaper to do a cement. And what gave me the idea was, I was taking care of a woman who had cancer when I was doing in-home care, who had a cement patio. And I told him, I'm like, with a wooden one, you constantly have to restain it and you have to make it weatherized. I said, why not just make it cement? So we checked into the prices, and the cement's actually cheaper. He said the only thing, the guy that we talked to said, If your house is brand new, you have more of a chance of cracking because the house isn't settled yet. But since ours has been sitting here since 1972, we're not going to have that problem. He said, so I think there's going to have to be some blocks put in or something, but he told us it can be done. So we're going to turn it into a nice patio because I just want a place to sit outside. It'd be awesome to do some lives out there too. I would have a blast. So we'll get it hooked up eventually. I'm excited about it. So in the meantime, we left the books in here, and as I go through boxes, people will hit me up on Facebook and they'll be like, do you have this author? Do you have this? I said, listen, I don't order the books from my store. There's a difference between a new bookstore and a used. A new bookstore, you probably would have like access sheets telling you what's coming into your store and stuff. I don't have that luxury. My store is a box of surprises. Whatever people have dropped off outside, unless I've actually went hunting and paid for the books myself, I don't know what I have. I had one lady come here when they found out that a used bookstore opened up. You would not believe the books that were left outside my door. On my porch, I had a lady literally call me, hey, I'm stopping by your store. My aunt passed away. We went through her attic, and I've got like a quarter of a pickup truck full. So she was wanting me to come outside and pick her. And I said, listen, lady, I don't have time to come out and pick through. So why don't you just leave them all here? And then I'll go through them and, decide. Because she didn't want them to end up in the landfill. She was wanting me to pick what I wanted because they were going to go to the garbage. If they was going into recycling, it'd have been different. So I ended up picking up everybody else's garbage. And then I go through them and I clean them, and I've had spiders run out of them and all kinds of good stuff. No, I've only found a quarter. I don't find money. But I've been through a lot of books, but I clean them and put them in the best position, the look possible. But what doesn't sell, unfortunately, I donate. And if they're falling apart, then I save the pages or what's savable, because I've had books come through here. Oh, they've had mold and different things like that. And I've had to pitch. As long, molds on the cover is one thing, as long as they're not on the pages. But if they're in the pages, I have to get rid of the whole thing. Oh, that sounds nice, Joe. That sounds interesting. We're just going to have the concrete. That's what I want. Concrete patio. But once I get what's on my shelves off, that's all I can tell people. I said I can only tell you what's on my shelves. I cannot tell you what I have because all of my stuff's in boxes and I do not have the room to open them. So what I would do is, when I started the store, all the books that I did open and clean and get on the shelves, I knew what I had. If they didn't sell, they would go into a yard sale. We have a community yard sale once a year. So I would clean off some of the books on my shelves, and that's where they would go. Sometimes they sold, sometimes they didn't. The ones that didn't sell, I donated. But they get YouTube chance. They get the market chance, and then they go into my community yard sale. If they don't sell within all of that, then they're not going to sell. So, at least for me. So if they're in pretty decent condition that I feel that are like almost brand new, which I've had a lot that I just took, I donate them either to the Salvation Army or to the Goodwill. And I have talked to both, and they do recycle. I said, I just don't want my books to end up in a landfill. That's the whole point of this. So if they're in bad shape or I don't think they're going to sell, some of the books I will take apart because I am going to be working on paper packs. Somebody asked me my last sale if I would make paper packs. I'm working on it. So anybody watches this later, I will be coffee dyeing some of the school books. They're not in the best of shape, and I'll be using those pages. as part of my book pack. I do have regular coffee dyed paper, but I'm going to make up paper packs for people in the junk journaling community. Eventually, it's going to take a while though, because it takes me forever in a day to dye these papers because I like baking them. And then once I get those set up, however many paper sets I have, I'll sell them in one of my sales. The books that are in the best condition, they're being donated. The ones that might be falling apart of the spine, then I'll probably take them to recycling. But at least they're not going to end up in the landfill. My husband wanted me to take them all. He says, well, if you've given them that many chances and they haven't sold, I said, but I don't have that big of a following. You know, you can only do so much. And I told him, and he was like, he wanted to take all the ones that didn't sell. And I said, but I can't, because some of them they're like in brand new condition. They've only been read by one person. So those are the ones I'm taking to the Goodwill and to the Salvation Army, because it just makes me sick to recycle brand new books. I think it's horrid, but I would rather see them recycled though than thrown in the landfill. So, because I could be making money off of it. You can make money when you recycle. He's like, you put all this time into cleaning them and all this time into doing this. I said, but Michael, I can't force people to buy my books. If they want to, they will. If they don't, they don't. What are you going to do? I'm only doing what I can do. So I do the best I can. That's all I can do. I said, with social media, heck, I haven't even had time to sit down and read a book. Who has time when you're on YouTube? You know how many books I've read this year? 2. I read 2 books this entire year, and that's terrible for me. I used to read like 236 books a year. Literally. That's how much I used to love to read. But now I have social media. I don't have time. I'm too busy reading the computer. Yeah, you can take it to recycling, Joe. That's what I'm saying. But I don't want to take brand new books to recycling. I only take the ones that are falling apart. No, I'll take him to recycling. He needs to be recycled. I wish I could recycle my hubby in some ways. You're funny, Joe. No, I don't want to take them to recycling if they're in good condition. That's what he was saying. I think for every, I don't know what the prices are here though, but you would have to take a lot. I think you only make $75 with every ton or something like that. But I would rather see, I guess it's just me, but I would rather see a thrift store trying to sell it first, you know, to feed people and to do what they do with the money first. And then if they can't, I'd rather they recycle the books and get the money. And I have asked both places if they do take them to be recycled, and they say yes. And I hope they're not lying to me. One lady told me in PA, I have never worked at the Salvation Army and Goodwill, so I don't know. But one lady told me in Pennsylvania that up there, I had been up visiting their Goodwill. She said, this is true or not, I don't know. She said they have warehouses where if they put out so many books, and if they don't sell, they switch them to another Goodwill to see if people there are interested in certain topics. Salvation Army here, every so often, and I do understand why they do this, every so often they do a clean out. And she told me that they do take the books and they recycle them and they use the money. But they have to do a clean out every so often because they can't keep the same stuff if nobody's buying it, which I totally get that. We have a St. Vincent's here. That's also another thrift place that I really love to go to. It's awesome. But the guy told me the last time I took books there, books are overflowing. That's what I've been trying to explain to people. He told me they have such a building. They have a room that has he said, we have so many books we just can't take anymore. And the last time I went to the Salvation Army, I don't know if it's because of COVID or what's going on, they're not taking any either. I had to go to another town to check there to see if they were taking books. And I don't want to get stuck with them here. So I have 2 places right now that I can check to drop them off. But I noticed at the Goodwill that I usually go to here, they had one section in that store. I have no clue what they're doing. If they're not accepting books anymore or if they're doing them a different way. But they had 2 shelves front and back that you could just walk around. And, they had books on both sides. And it's gone. The last time I was there, they had this really dinky little shelf. Like, that whole section's been gone. I was blown away when I went up there. I'm like, where the heck's all the books? And all they had was this one little shelf with just a few books on it, and that's it. So I don't know if they're doing away with books. All I know is one of my favorite authors come out with a book, and her books are expensive because she does Outlander. She's the time travel book. Her name's Diana something. She writes the books for that series. I never knew that it was a show. They come out like $21 or $23 or something. It was so weird how I just saw online her brand new book was just coming out and released, and I turned around and I saw what the price was online, and I walked into Ollie's and there it was for $3.99. It was the same book, and it just launched. And I'm like, wow, because if they're overproducing that much to where these books are, going that fast into a thriftier market, I personally think that authors need to not just look at electronic gadgets that people read. I think they need to do the publishers, the publishing companies, in my eyes, they need to do something that Amazon's doing. I had a guy come here that had wrote his first book, and he said, if anybody's interested in buying it, he left a few here. He says, if anybody's interested in buying them, they can go to Amazon and Amazon will print them by request. And I think that that's what these authors need to start doing. That they need to quit putting out so much that's getting thrown in the garbage and overproduced. And they need to have their following somehow request it. That way it's printed right then and there. Because you look in some of these books and you'll see 2 million copies. That's a hell of a lot of trees. That's a lot of destruction. And books will last for a really long time. And it's like, to me, no, I don't want to go all ebooks. I personally don't want to read a book online. I personally like holding a real book. And there's a lot of people that feel like I do. They like the real books. They don't want to read them on gadgets. Because I know I've talked to a couple people when I've been out picking up books. And they'll be like, oh, yeah, my grandchild got me, a Kindle. And I just don't like it. And, some people just don't. So I feel for those type of people that they need to figure out how much they're wasting and cut back comparison with the ebooks to the real books. You know what I mean? Like, don't be wasting so many trees, but people need to do request copies so that not these books are overpopulated. I mean, when you go to thrift stores and they're turning you away, you know that there's a problem. And that's why my bookstore is not doing very good either, because nobody has time to read anymore. Nobody wants to read anymore, or they're reading online, or they just don't have the time. Well, I think that they're overproducing that. That's not the point. The point I'm making is when a publisher publishes so many books, I mean, read about it. Read about a publishing company. Like if they have an author come to them, they put out so many books. Why? You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel that people should request the books they want to read so that way it's printed off for a purpose instead of just printing millions for nothing that end up in a landfill. You know what I mean? Like they're too overly populated. And the other thing is furniture. Like we have like a shit ton, literally, in this one place I go. I'm talking 2 floors, and it's nothing but china closets and stuff. Like somebody needs to produce something different than books and furniture too, because we're getting such, it's terrible. We're getting so many overproduction of overproduced furniture that this place is flooded that I go to with furniture. Like they have to turn people away. And I went to another used bookstore owner not far from me, and they told me themselves. They said, if you would only see the books that people try to give us. I said, trust me, I know. When they found out I opened up a bookstore here, I about died when I walked outside my house after yard sales and after people in the summertime, especially, they're dumping them at my door. And it's like, I can't take all these books. I had a phone call here not too long ago. I had to turn them away. I'm like, unless you have books from like the 1800s, I'm not accepting them. Or early 1900s, if they're not out of copyright, I'm not accepting them. I just can't. I have no more room. I feel like I'm getting everything nobody else wants. And it's not like I don't have good books in here. It's just people just don't want them. So that's why I do videos, and I tell people, I'm not just about selling. If a person owns a Kindle or a Nook, I respect that too. Even though I'm not a Kindle or a Nook reader, I know people in my family that can't read the small prints of books anymore, and they like having a gadget because it brings the words, bigger. And I get that, because have you ever seen a book that's been published that has bigger fonts? It's a lot of paper. That's a lot of trees dying for those books, because the bigger font books are like 3 times the size of a regular size textbook. It's ridiculous. It's such a waste of paper. So, I mean, that's how I just tell people all the time. I'm like, I want to be a resource too, that if I'm reading a book you're interested in wanting to read, look on your Kindle or a Nook and you can find it there too. Because I didn't want to be just about selling books. I want people to come to me as a reference. And I loved it because Cheryl Lee, that was in here earlier, she left a message on my one of my videos that, oh, I can't wait to check out this book. She says, I can't read the smaller font. And she says, but I've been looking for this. She looked and found a book that I talked about, because that's what I want it to be about too. I think reading is important, period. Yep. As that's what happened with ledgers. As they're putting everything in digitally, they're tossing everything away. You know what I mean? Like I worked for a law firm, a law place that did that. They were paying us to come in and digitize all the court cases and things, and then they're getting rid of. That's what happened to ledgers, why they were burning ledgers, because once they're in the system, they don't need the paper anymore. And like you said, a lot of books are going into ebooks that way, but I just wish that there was a way that they could take and say, if you really want a real book, because what are people going to do if technology ever gets hit with a bomb? There is a bomb that can disconnect all technology. I hope people know that. And they would be screwed. Just in time prepping is a wonderful channel, because he brought that up. And he said, if you have a car that's on computerized and you have nothing, how are you going to get anywhere if that would ever happen? I can't remember the name of the bomb, but there is one. He said, you better have a bike, you better have a horse, or you better have a vehicle that's not digitalized that you're keeping up, because if not, you're not going to be able to get nowhere. Yep, they have, people have called and asked me if I've had PDFs. I'm like, "No." Or they'll ask me if I have, books on discs. No, I have some books here on tapes. I've literally sat here and listened to while I've been working in my store at times. They have authors on tapes. Now, my mother, she took care of a lady that had cancer and, she couldn't walk or anything, and she would listen to the authors talk to her on tape. But I don't know anybody that has 8-track tape players, because I have a bunch of 8-track tapes if people have an 8-track tape. Now, I have a player that plays 8 tracks, it plays CDs, and it has a radio. But I don't know how many people have 8-track tape players anymore, because if somebody was bedridden and they needed something that they wanted to listen to, I have plenty of those 8-track books with authors reading books and stuff. They're really cool. I even have almost an entire biblical set. I think there was 2 tapes that were messed up in it, but I go through and I listen to everything because I had these tapes come in, they were horrible. The author sounded fine, but the background was it was, like, all messed up. So I threw those away. And, that's why I listened to him. Like, somebody, I don't know, I guess because they thought I had a used bookstore, I needed albums, and I needed VHS tapes, and I needed CDs. If you would see the VHS tapes I have here, it's ridiculous. I probably got a pile of 20, two stacks of 20 that's just filled with VHSs. It's ridiculous. Or no, 8 it's cassette tapes, D, sorry. I do have 8 tracks that were dropped off too, that's why I got it on the brain. Somebody dropped off a great big black case of 8-track tapes that I can't even check to listen to because I don't have an 8-track tape player. It's cassette tapes. I have a crap load of cassette tapes that authors are talking on, sorry. And yeah, I have a couple boxes of albums here too, some vinyls. I have no clue what to do with them because I like listening and making sure there's no scratches. My thing is, I have a guarantee as an owner that you're not gonna get a book that doesn't have ripped pages in it. Like, I go through every single book from front to back to make sure you get the best quality book, because I had a book I bought from the Goodwill one time and got to the center and the page was ripped out. So that's my thing. That's my logo with my store. So any VHS tapes that comes through here, any CDs, I listen to everything to make sure it works because I don't want to sell something that's junk. I had to throw out some cassette tapes already. I had a CD come through here that was a movie that was all scratched up and it was no good. Like, I play them literally on my players. I don't have a record player. And well, we have a stereo still, D, but the needle doesn't work on the record player. And when my husband tried to look it up, he couldn't find it. So I can't listen to the records to sell them. I don't know if they're scratched. So I have no clue what price to put on stuff like that because I don't want to sell something that's bad. And I don't have a 8-track tape player. I have a whole case of 8 tracks that somebody dropped off and I can't listen to them to see if they're of value because I could put that on my, eBay, Etsy, sell it to someone. But I got to make sure they work first. Unless somebody just wants to put a bid on them. I mean, what do you do? But I still have all my vinyl records. I kept them all. I even have that little blue thing that you push and pull up with the handle. You know what I'm talking about? That held 45s. I even have my 45 records. I got King Tut. I loved King Tut. I have King Tut as a 45. I saw Mommy Kissing Santa Claus, which is absolutely one of my favorite 45s. I get quite a few of them. And I know those worked, at least last time I checked. But we used to have that little plastic thing that you sent in the center of your 45 to be able to play it on a spindle. Yeah, I still have all mine. I've got a Kiss album. I've got all my Def Leppard albums. Every time I went to a concert to see somebody, I kept all the books from the concerts. I have a nice collection. I don't know what I'm going to do with it all though. But then somebody gave me a set of records, like, you know, the 12 sets that plays you know, the oldies like Moonlight River and all them. I have like a 12 record set. I have no clue if any of them work. Somebody dropped them off. But I got a ton of stuff, and all I want to do is unbury myself. That's all I want to do. I was overwhelmed, and it felt so good to be able to dig into that bathroom because you can't see, like, you can't move hardly in my store. I literally have a path. And I had card holders in my store. They were made out of cardboard we put together. These things were a pain. And I sold 3 of those for $100, which I'm so happy. Or 6 of them for 100. I don't know. I sold it. They were like 3 for 100, and I think I only charged $20 a piece. I don't know how much they were individually, but some people are going to start a store, so they came and bought 6 of them. So I got 6 of them, or 5 or 6 of them gone. So I'm down to, I don't know how many I had. I've got like 1, 2, 3, 4. I sold half of them, I believe. So I need to run that again and sell 3 more. I want to keep 3 for yard sale purposes because it is nice to have them. The directions were awful to put these together. They were terrible. They even had my husband cussing. So, but we did get them together. The first 2 we had to tape, though. I kept those ones because they were horrible trying to put them together. Horrible. So I want to keep a few of them for yard sales, get rid of the rest of them, and it'll give me more room down here. And then I just got so much clutter right now. It's insane. But once I get my bathroom cleaned out, I'll feel better. We had a rat issue down here that was absolutely awful because they found my dog's dog food outside, and then they found their way into my house. So it's little slimy body, put little slimy mud spots and piss box and shit all over my bathroom in there. And I just cannot wait because that's how they do. They have a trail. I studied a lot about rats, and they stay with the trail to find their way back. All I want to do is get the books picked up and scrub that floor. That's all I want to do. My husband swept up a lot of the rat shit that was done. I was so mad. But he cleaned up a lot of the rat doo-doo. And then I just want to scrub it. That's all I want to do. It ran in between my totes and stuff. And it's just like, I can't stand bugs and stuff and rodents. So I'll get that cleaned out. And then once I get the bathroom cleaned out, I'll feel better. Because then I'll have room to put down a couple totes to be able to sort more books and do some more unboxings. But like right now, if you guys would see my desk, you'd be like, oh my God, because it's covered with books. I have 2 desks in my store. One that I actually work at and one that I actually pile up with books that I clean. And it's covered. And my books, like, they're not moving right now because I'm trying to get rid of what's on the shelves. Once I get rid of the shelves, then I can put these books in different genres and they'll be on my YouTube channel. I've sold some. People will send me an email or they'll come into the yard sale, and there's like a retirement home up here, and there's a lady that likes some of the like old romance, Harlequin romances. She'll buy them. I only have them for like 20 cents. So she'll buy those up or something, you know, like I do get my book buyers. A lot of people look for cookbooks and things like that too. I had a whole box of magazines. I was just getting rid of them. I didn't pay for them. And I put 20 cents on each, and some lady come in and bought them all up. And she's like, this woman at this other yard sale, she was trying to sell hers for $1. And I said, do you realize how much magazines cost now? They cost about what a softback book used to cost. So if she paid for them, I can understand why she's selling them for $1. But I didn't pay for these. Somebody dropped them off. So I sold them for 20 cents each because I didn't invest in them. I just cleaned them and went through them, and that 20 cents is basically paying me a tip for cleaning them. My husband tells me all the time I'm not a capitalist. He tells me I don't charge enough. But when you're trying to get rid of stuff, who wants to charge a bunch? Oh, that's nice, Grandma Joe. That's awesome. I have so many music digitally, I don't need to run my albums through. I have thousands and thousands of CDs that people got rid of or recorded on, and every time I got a hold of something, I just ran it through and unloaded it into a external hard drive. I've got like 5 external hard drives, like a gigabyte or so many gigabyte. I got a lot of room. So I got a lot of music on mine too. My thing is though, is I don't even have time to listen to music anymore. I need to take my player upstairs and run music while I'm like doing dishes and things like that. Because I do miss doing, listening to music while I'm cleaning. But I'm always listening to YouTube. YouTube's like my life. I sometimes I even hit on musicians in my YouTube just to hear music. But anyways, I do gotta go because I'm gonna go spend some time with my puppy, and I don't know if I used up all my time yet. Thank you all for stopping in, and I hope I will see everybody soon. Bye. Have a great evening.